Hey, Adina.
Wow, hi.
I gotcha. We're recording. Oh my goodness, we've had so much technological fun in the last couple of days, but I think we're good. We're on Zoom now, so we got a little different medium, and we're super excited to be here today to get into our energy, peace, love, balance, energy 3 video, where we're going to start to share some really cool techniques about protecting your energy. How you doing today, Adina?
Awesome. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Really good. It's a really crazy day in Michigan. We've got like we're gonna have like 65-degree weather in March and then thunderstorms with tornadoes this afternoon. So
Oh,
that's what happens when you live in the Midwest. You never know. So it's kind of like life, I think, right? It can be sunny in the morning and thunderstorms in the afternoon. And this is why we need to learn some really cool techniques on how to balance our energy for those crazy tornadoes that blow in
yeah,
sometimes.
you can't change the weather, but you can prepare yourself for what it looks like, right? Do I just
Absolutely.
need the raincoat or do I need the raincoat, the galoshes, and the umbrella?
Exactly. And a coat and a scarf and a hat and boots and whatever, right?
Yeah,
Or a
right.
bathing suit. Sometimes here in Michigan, we need them all. But again, it's a great analogy to life because there are days where all sorts of things come flowing in. So anyway, the question for today, let's just hop right into it, is are you a sensitive person? Because I know that I am. And when I say a sensitive person, it doesn't mean that I cry all the time, although I can muster one up pretty easily um, because I just feel so many things, right? So, and even if you're not, a highly sensitive person, if you are highly sensitive, you probably notice it's really easy to pick up energies from different people, and sometimes you don't even realize you're picking up an energy, but when you're thinking about it, but how you know is by how you're feeling, right? So, it's important to just create healthy boundaries and in order to protect those energies. And even if you're not a highly sensitive person, it's really important to protect those boundaries. So this way you feel less affected by the energy of negative words, of news that you're watching, of things that people are saying, the actions that people take, things like that. So we're going to talk about a couple of really great techniques that will help you to create some of those healthy boundaries and to protect your energy. And some of these things, I have lots and lots of teachers and lots of studies and lots and lots of things to light candles with. But some of these that I'm going to talk about today come from a great teacher of mine. Her name is Gabrielle Bernstein. Some of you, I'm sure, know of her. She is a motivational speaker. She's a best-selling author. She's got all kinds of really cool books about taking care of yourself and minding your energy. She's got a book called The Universe Has Your Back, which is a #1 New York bestseller, and she's got a new one also. But anyway, Gabrielle Bernstein, call out to her. She's got a group called Spirit Junkies, and I've taken that class as well because we are spirit junkies, I think. So let's just talk a little bit get right into it, about how to create some healthy boundaries. And the first thing that I want to talk about is how to set the intention to protect your energy. Okay, so just knowing that when you're going into a space and you want to protect your energy, how is it that you do it? And some of you know me from, Redkin, and you've seen me on the big stage before. And you may have noticed that when I'm on a big stage, my energy is a little bit different than it is when I get off the stage. And I think that, our auras, our energy fields, they expand about 3 feet away from our physical body. So I think for me, when I'm on a stage, I feel the energy of the room. Of course we do, right? And we do energy and we get all that, but I don't feel the need to protect myself so much when I'm in a space like that, when there's distance created, as I do when I come off the stage and I'm one-on-one with somebody, or I'm in a small group. There's a lot of people around me, really close to me. And I'm using that example, but for yourselves, you can think about times where you've got maybe distance from people, but there are other times behind the chair, maybe at a family dinner, wherever you are, where there's energy that is that is close to you. And if you are sensitive, you're feeling all of these different energies. So, one of the things that you can do is, just like I said, before you go into that space, or, you're going to be in an area maybe where there's people that do affect your energy in a certain way, is that you can set an intention to protect your energy. So here's how it is, super simple. You can just say this. Just take yourself a minute. You can write this down if you want to, make your own. This is just the intention of what needs to be said to set your intention. But you're just going to set the intention. I set the intention right now to be loving, to be kind, to be forgiving. Because I think it's really important that we also understand, by protecting our energy doesn't mean that we're not loving, doesn't mean that we're not kind, doesn't mean that we're not forgiving. What it means is that we have more balanced and better, stronger energy to be able to interact the way that we want to interact and create the space that we want to create if we protect ourselves. So then we say, but I'm also not going to leak my energy. I am not a sponge. We all know what that feels like. Right now, I am not going to take on the energy of others. And it's really that simple. Just setting your intention, and it immediately creates this sort of invisible wall. And again, it doesn't mean that you have a negative attitude. It just means that you're saying, you can't come in here right now.
Even it just like the visual that you have placed there, Bobby, it's this beautiful protective bubble. It's iridescent and clear. It's not, you're protecting yourself so that if someone comes barreling at you with their energy, it has the opportunity to just not penetrate or get in to you and yourself, right? It could come in, and it bounces off of you. It bounces off that protective bubble, in a way that you can still engage with this person, but it doesn't have opportunity to affect you in a negative way.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for bringing that home, Adina. It's great. The visual is really good. In my Reiki training, one of the things that we had to do was to create something that offered protection from us. And so we were all asked to, come up with whatever it is. So it could be a beautiful bubble like this. I remember at the time I was super into Harry Potter, and, I made, excuse me, the cloak of invisibility, that I could put on and over myself, that I could see out very clearly, but people couldn't see in. So whatever it is, but you do want to make sure that it's not, you don't necessarily want to do like a brick wall that's impenetrable.
Yeah, it's not a wall. It's like
got some flexibility to it and some movement, because just as you said so beautifully, it's, you can let energy in, you can let energy out, but you do have a realm of protection around you.
Yeah, like sometimes it's like zip up the bubble suit before you walk into an environment. Same thing. Yeah. So whatever that looks like for you, but just being aware that it's there and setting the intention to make sure that it's there.
Yeah, and paying attention to when and where you want to do that, right? Because it's not like you can do it all the time, but when you're heading into an environment where you feel like you want to protect yourself. So let's talk a little bit about some other tangible ways to protect your energy. Adina's going to talk a little bit about some crystals.
Yeah, earth energy. So crystals are of earth. They're beautiful, but they also have characteristics that can help establish safe environments, not only for you on person, if you carry them around with you, or a room, multiple rooms. And for me personally, we'll keep it simple and start with amethyst. And what amethyst does is it transmutes and lower energies into higher frequency. What does that mean? It eliminates negative energy and boosts positive energy. So it creates a calm and peaceful environment, so that everything kind of is balanced, making sure, and because it's earth energy, what's happening is it does have the opportunity to change the particles and molecules in the air, believe it or not, to create this environment that is more peaceful. And there you have it.
Yeah, I think you said a couple really cool things, Adina. One was, about the vibration, and when our energy is high, our vibration is really high, which gives us the ability to attract the things in our life that we want, right? Negative energy that we can get from people or from situations or from thinking, lowers our vibration. And, we don't have as much connection to the universe or to getting the things that we want. I'm going to do a little science bitty for a second, if you don't mind, because you also said, you call these what was it?
Earth energies.
Earth energies.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's the earth itself has a vibrational energy, and it's measured in megahertz. I think it's like 7.3. It's called Schumann's resonance, and it measures the literal vibration of the earth. And the interesting thing when I learned this is our human bodies have the exact same vibrational measurement. So when I just got goosebumps. So this is why when, somebody says, if your stress is high, if you need to chill out, if you need to connect with nature, connect with earth, go put your feet on the ground, go hug a tree, any of those things, because what you're literally doing is calibrating your energy to the earth's energy, which is where we where we are vibrating the best. So it's pretty cool. And these stones come from the earth, so they actually come naturally with the same vibrational energy. Cool stuff.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the second boundary that we're going to talk about today is to believe that you have an invisible gatekeeper of your energy. And what that means is, a gatekeeper, picture you could picture the bobbies at Buckingham Palace, or, your angels at the gates of heaven, or whatever image conjures up for you. Your gatekeeper could be an angel. Some of you know who your angels are, particularly. It could be an ascended master. It could be a loved one that's passed. It could be a spirit guide, could be a spirit animal, any whatever it is that resonates for you, but believe that you have an invisible gatekeeper. And the thing that's important to understand about gatekeepers, or, angels, or spirit guides, or things like that as well, they are not sort of allowed, if that's the right word, to interfere. But they are ready, and they are here, and they are always available. They're timeless, so they're everywhere at the same time. But what you have to do is call on them. So you just have to ask them to come and to be the keeper of your energy at this time. So it's really super simple for this one is, before you're walking into an environment where you want to protect your energy, again, you say, thank you for closing my gate right now. And I think this can work at times where you're going from one client to the next, and, sometimes you even have been super open with your energy to somebody, and you're going to now have another guest in your chair, and you want to just protect your own energy a little bit. So from transitioning from one to the next, thank you for closing my gate right now.
Yep. And it's, you said transitioning from one guest to the next, and sometimes it happens rapidly and fast. And even while you're drinking the water in between the switching of the guests, it's just thinking those thoughts is as easy as yes, we, use sage or selenite or certain stones or what have you to transition the energy in the space. But even just having that thought or the intention of changing from one guest to the other. Thank you for closing the gate to, and then ... whoever her name is, his or her name is, and then now opening the space so that you and ... his or her name can be in conjunction together to have a beautiful connection and experience. Again, going into that, like, you still have your protective bubble on, so they can't take your energy on, and you don't take on theirs, but what you are doing is engaging and connecting on a deeper level.
Yeah. You know what, I had this great image as you were talking about, everyone who's listening and, decides to take on some of these practices, and just the beautiful environments that are going to be created in the space, with the chair, with the guest, with yourself, and really taking the work that you're doing behind the chair to a whole new level of creating energy. If your guests love being in your space right now, imagine the difference that they're going to find when you're intentionally, creating and changing and managing the energy that's in the space before they come into it, and after they leave, before the next one comes into it. Whew.
Woo!
Woo-hoo! Cool stuff. So tell us about some more crystals, Adina, that we can use to protect our energy.
Absolutely. So, in the end, it comes down to, like, crystals are subjective, the crystals that resonate the best with you. So what we're going to do is we're going to share some crystal ideas and what their attributes are, because each crystal has a earth energy attribute that can help change the environment. Again, we'll share those with you. And then if you go to my mastery page, I'm actually sharing the crystals, and then I'm sharing affirmations that fit those crystals. But one that we're going to share right now, because we are talking about protecting the energy and protecting the space, is smoky quartz. It's great for, it's a major protective stone. So it's creating that invisible bubble or bubble suit or cape or whatever that looks like for you. Imagine that's what smoky quartz is doing for you. It creates a safe and secure environment. And it's not just, of course, it's for you because it's your space, but it's also for the people that are you're surrounding yourself with. Mm-hmm. Also, it's like when smoky quartz, why smoky quartz, how smoky quartz. What we want to share is that when, anytime, any place, anywhere, right? Why? Because it will do these things for you. It will give you the protection that you need. And then how? So yes, we can put giant crystals in our space, but also you can carry them on person. Sometimes you might need a little bit more of that energy. So if you have smaller, more handheld or tangible crystals, know that crystals can be put in your left hand, and when they're put in your left hand, you're taking on that energy through your body. So if you feel like you need more protection, you're going to put the crystal in your left hand or in your left pocket. Keep it on the left side of your body. If you feel like you need to let go of some energy, that's when you would put it in your right hand. So you'd take that smoky quartz, you'd put it in your right hand and allow that crystal to absorb anything that you feel like you need to balance out. So that's one of the things, another attribute that the smoky quartz has for you is it's balancing the yin and yang energy within yourself and your environment.
Cool. So we've got one more crystal I think you want to talk about, Adina.
Yeah, because it's kind of like the universal. Selenite is the universal go-to. And the reason being is because it actually cleans and clears all other crystals. So it's like the scrubby bubbles of crystals. And so if you feel like any of your crystals need clearing, yes, there are other practices and rituals that you can do to clear them, like sagem, palo santo, moon, sun, all the different ways. But know that selenite is great for, you can put your crystals next to the selenite and it's going to clean and clear that for however long you feel like it needs to happen, and then take your crystals back and know that their selenite's going to clean it. Also, it's promoting that protective circle again, really just putting a larger, maybe think of it that way, like a larger expansion of this white light, this crystal energy around you, just to create more of a balanced environment. And then it's a great energy holder for your altar. What does that mean? It means that it should be like in every corner of your house. It should be, if you have an altar or have created an altar, it's that perfect balancer to put on the altar to, keep the crystals clean and then create that protective energy around you.
Awesome. You know what? I love, you touched on it too, Adina. I love selenite for times when I can't sage or I can't, smudge because or palo santo because I can't burn something if I'm in certain environments, right? Like in my studio, we're not allowed to use real fire, candles. But I can always use my selenite to help clear out the space, and smudge spray too. I do as well in those times when you can't use fire, you can't burn something. Awesome.
Walking around with our wands, it's whatever it takes, right, Bobby?
Exactly. And do it often. So let's just recap then some of the things that we talked about today, which again is always, and we're always going to go back to this, paying attention, because really listening, putting your heart, your ear down close to your soul, paying attention to what's going on, listening and taking action will always be part of this, and knowing we're always in flux. We're up and we're down, we're up and we're down. So we have to pay attention all the time so that we know where we're at, and then we know what we can do. But just remembering to protect your energy by setting an intention, and also to calling in your gatekeepers when you need them. And then we also want to remind you to use your crystals, which ones call to you and which ones are appropriate at what time.
Absolutely. Just thank you for sharing the time. You are here at the Peace, Love, Balance YouTube channel. Make sure that you like comment and share the information. If you have any questions about what we're talking about, make sure that you put it in there, because we are here for you as your community when creating a balanced lifestyle. Also, you'll find Bobby and myself, or Bobby or myself, every Wednesday on Instagram, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, to just go in and recap these videos and have live conversations with you about any questions that you might have, or any discoveries that you had in between watching the video and the lives on Instagram.
Yeah, I think we're finally getting a routine down, Adina. When we first started, we weren't quite sure where we were going, but we knew kind of what we wanted to do. But I think this is working out really well, and we'd love to hear from you some feedback as well. That we do we post the live typically we post the video typically on Thursdays, and then we do the live the following Wednesday to sort of recap that. And again, it's your chance to ask any questions or get feedback, or any clarity on any of the things that we discuss.
Yeah, and that week in between gives you opportunity to implement, so that you will have the questions, comments, or concerns that come up during our live chats.
Yeah, that's the point. You got to do it. So,
yeah.
Okay, well, until next time, everyone, peace, love, balance. Have a great week, and we will see you next week.
Bye.